Hello again, my little sewing enthusiasts. Glad to see you back in the second part of my Ramona milkmaid dress tutorial. Hope the first part wasn't too complicated for you, and you are ready to follow me on this sewing journey. So, without the hesitation, let's begin. Part 2, Back Bodice. Mark the back center bodice with parallel lines across the fabric on the right side of the piece. Use a disappearing ink pen or chalk. If you are using the disappearing ink pen, do a test on a piece of fabric. Make sure it really disappears without a trace. Roll the edge of the center back piece by 5 millimeters to the wrong side and stitch on the machine. Do not press the seam yet. The interfacing on the upper edge of this piece is totally optional. Use it only if you are working with slippery, unstable fabric. Fold over the hem again. Stitch over your first row of stitching. Press the seam. Okay, time for the fun part. Let's do the shirring on the back center piece. Insert the bobbin with the elastic thread into your sewing machine, just like you would for the regular thread. Take out the bobbin thread by moving the hand wheel, as shown in the video. Start stitching on the right side of the fabric on top of the lines you have marked previously. Do not backstitch. Adjust the length of the stitch if you need to. In my case, the length of the stitching and the pressure of the foot is on regular. While stitching, keep the fabric taut so that fabric folds are not caught in your stitching line. After you have finished your first elastic line, you will notice that your fabric does not have the gathered effect you had expected. Do not worry. With more rows of stitching, the gathering will increase. When you reach the end of the row, stop. Turn the foot downwards. As shown in this video, make several stitches to get to the next row. Stop, turn the foot again, and keep stitching along the second row. Repeat this sequence until the end of the piece. And our elastic back piece is complete. Isn't it beautiful? Gently press the fabric with a hot steam iron. This will give your shirring finer, more even gathers. You can see that we have some elastic tails sticking out. Let's deal with them. Tie the knots on the loose ends, but don't cut them very short afterwards. Otherwise, they might slip out of the knot and ruin the whole row. After adding the elastic tread, your center back piece probably will shrink a little bit. This is normal. Place the back center bodice and backside bodice wrong sides together. Pin the pieces together, but make sure to leave 1 centimeter unstitched on the upper edge of the side piece. baste and stitch on the machine. Press the seam allowances open, then towards the side piece. Trim the seam allowances down to 5 millimeters. Be careful not to trim too much of the leftover elastic tails. Pin the bone casings in place on top of the vertical seam lines of the back bodice, covering the raw seam allowances with the casing. Make sure that the one side of the casing aligns with the center of the seam. Baste in place. Stitch on the machine 2 millimeters from the casing's edge. Remove the basting tread. Trim the casing's edge to align with the main part. Now, I will show you how we will be finishing the side seam allowances of our Ramona dress. I will be using this small fabric pieces because it's easier this way. Fold the seam allowances to the wrong side, 5 millimeters from the edge. Stitch on the machine. Fusible interfacing tape to the wrong side of the piece on top of the new seam, as shown in this video, encasing the raw edge inside the interfacing. Make sure that the interfacing do not overlap the seam. Press, press, press. Place the pieces right sides together and align the side edges. Pin, baste, and stitch on the machine 8 millimeters from the edge. Remove the basting tread. Press the seam allowances open. This is a very nice and slick way how to finish the seam allowances on the thin and flowy fabrics. But please, only use dry cleaning if you are going to use this method. Okay, let's try and use this method on our dress. On the back and front pieces, fold the seam allowances of the side seams to the wrong side by 5 millimeters. Stitch on the machine. Place the front and back bodice pieces right sides together and align the side edges. Pin, baste, and stitch on the machine 8 millimeters from the edge, only from the right side of the garment. Keep the left side of the bodice unstitched for the zipper. Remove the basting tread. Press the seam allowances open. And our main part of the bodice is done. Just one more step to make it complete. Cut your plastic boning with regular scissors to 5 pieces in accurate lengths. Boning should be 2 centimeters shorter than the stitched casing. File the ends into a more rounded shape. The middle boning should be a bit more pointier on its lower side than the others because of the waistline's shape. Make sure that all ends are smooth to touch without rough, pointy edges. Otherwise, the boning will pierce through the casing's fabric. Gently insert all 5 pieces into their boning channels. And with that, we are done with part 2 of this tutorial. Yippee! Only one more part to go, and you will have your own sexy milkmaid dress. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye!